Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Once again, Herme is roaming around in Amboseli right now with some of our guests, then Tumara. Lucky him, and right now in Canada. And forget about me and Herme, we have an amazing person today. Once again, our guest of honor for today's conversation. And once again, from Kolkata, Antarjit Singh. He started with photography in 2012, but things got into a bit more serious mode in 2016. Some amazing collection of photos, and let's see what Antarjit has to share with us. Let's go through the images, some stories, and the experience. That's what's our plan. Let's welcome Antarjit. Hello, dear. How are you?
Hello, Nishaji. How are you? I'm doing fine. A very good evening to all the viewers who have joined in, and I hope I can make this session and your valuable time worthwhile. And
Thank you.
a big thank you to you and the whole team of Paws Trails for giving me this platform to share my experience from the wild.
Post Trails is all about sharing experience and learning from each other. So everyone is special for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So how do you got into it? I mean, I know you are a commerce graduate, you have a business and you are into insurance. How come you got interested in photography, and how come in 10 years, last 5 years, as you mentioned, if it is 5 to 6 years, if it become more, if it is taking more and more time, what is inspiring you?
See, I always was fascinated with big cats right from my childhood, and
Mm-hmm.
I sort of had an obsession to see a tiger in the wild in its natural habitat during
Mm-hmm.
my school days.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to wait till I completed my high school to
Uh-huh.
make my first trip to a national park, which
Uh-huh.
is Manas in Assam.
Okay.
Now, Manas is a place where no one does not go and expect to see tigers because
Okay.
during 2012 it was on its way to recovery
Uh-huh.
from the destruction caused due to the Bodoland insurgency.
Okay.
So, uh, but one of my uncle was planning to visit there, and I didn't want to miss the opportunity to make my first visit to a tiger reserve.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
great.
Despite slim chances of seeing the tiger there.
Mm-hmm.
But I went ahead, and I think that was one of the best decision of my life because in that very trip I got to see my first wild tiger while I was
Wonderful.
in while I was on a raft cruising along the Manas River. So it
Uh-huh.
was a mere glimpse of 10 seconds, but those 10 seconds were enough to turn my obsession into a passion, and from there on there was no looking back. I did back-to-back trips to various national parks across
That's great.
India,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and got myself a DSLR. But
Mm-hmm.
all this while, I wasn't seriously into photography. It was all about documenting and making videos for
Mm-hmm.
my own self.
Mm-hmm.
Things got serious in 2015 and 16 when all these photography communities were in full bloom on Facebook.
Okay.
And yeah, I came across a lot of beautiful images on a daily basis on Facebook, and that
Mm-hmm.
sort of stirred a new passion in me to click technically good images, which earlier I wasn't doing it consciously.
Okay. Let's get into your presentation and show
Sure,
us your wonderful images,
sure,
please.
sure, sure. Let me share my screen.
Yes, please. So, I mean, now you all have an idea how he got into the photography side and how things
Can you see
influence.
my screen,
I
Nishaji?
can see your screen.
Okay, here we go. Go
Yes.
to full screen.
Yes.
So
And if you
as
can make it full screen, please.
I already did.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, okay. So as I already mentioned that it all started in 2012.
Yeah.
So these are the kind of images that I was making, of course, without any clear thought process, just documenting things without any concept of composition, light, and post processing. And it was more of a point and shoot thing. But then a new journey started in 2015. I think this was my trip to Ranthambore, where I came across this beautiful tigress This is a sub-adult cub of a beautiful tigress called Noor, which is very popular in Ranthambore. And this is probably the first decent image of mine which got me some kind of recognition on social media. Uh, in the backdrop, you can see a beautiful banyan tree,
Oh,
which is
that's an
one of the
amazing image.
thank you, which is also the national tree of India. So both the
Hmm.
national animal and national tree in the same frame.
Beautiful.
Thank you. So moving on to the next image. So this is a beautiful
Wow.
bronze back tree snake, which is again in Ranthambore. And there's an interesting story behind this image. I was in a full day safari in Ranthambore where I came across a tiger resting in the shade, and we were waiting for it to come on the road. And suddenly I saw something happening just beside the bushes, beside the jeep. And on a closer inspection, I saw this action happening. This is a bronze-backed tree snake which was struggling to swallow a skink. So this went on for more than 15 minutes, and
Wow.
yeah, and sighting like this, makes you realize that a jungle is much more than the tigers and all the popular animals. It
Yeah.
has a lot to offer. You just need to observe each and everything with your eyes and mind open. So photography kind of made me a wildlife lover than a tiger lover. It all started with the tigers, but eventually with photography, I started to appreciate and observe every form of wildlife.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So moving on to the next image. This image again is during my initial days in Kana, in central
Beautiful.
India. So from this image, I also want to show you the mistakes that I made during my earlier days. As you can see, that there's a bit tight frame, and I was standing on the seat. It is shot from a higher angle. So the more mistakes I made on the field, the more I learned from the mistakes. I learned that you need to go as low as possible to shoot wildlife, and to give your subject some breathing space in the frame. So it's all about learning from your mistakes as well. It is not just about making beautiful pictures alone. So on to the next image. This is from a very beautiful place in Rajasthan, known as Jawai, also called as the land of leopards and shepherds. I call
That's a
it that.
wonderful one.
I call it that as a land rocks where the leopards rule. So during this particular sighting, I told my naturalist to keep a good amount of distance because I wanted a wider perspective to show the habitat and the beautiful rock formations. So this is a place where these leopards get blend with the surroundings very beautifully. The textures on these granite rocks, the leopards blend with these textures, and this is one of the wonderful places in India where you can see leopards in abundance.
Yep. Beautiful it is.
Thank you. So moving on from another image from Jawai, this time a closer look. So this leopard was rushing towards the cave. So these caves play a very important role. They provide a perfect hideout place for these leopards to hide their cubs, to uh, hide their kills and even mate, and they also protect them from harsh weather conditions.
Okay.
So next up is a Indian eagle owl from Jawai. It is not just about leopards; it has beautiful bird life as well. So this is one of the largest owl species found in India. In flight, uh, I underexposed a bit to get the details on the owl. So
Great.
so next up is one of my favorite places in India, the Kaziranga. So this is of course the one-horned rhino, the pride of Assam. So this was a late winter evening. The sun was down, making the water glitter like gold. So I underexposed the shot to get a good silhouette of the rhino. So moving on to the next, this is a pair of great Indian hornbill, a male feeding a female. So the one with the red eye is a male, and one with the yellow eyes is the female. So this was one lovely moment that I got in Kaziranga. It is one of my most favorite birds to shoot, and no better place than Kaziranga because you get these species in abundance. And there's a
Okay.
lot of variety in Kaziranga, apart from
That's
rhinos and other form of wildlife.
that's great.
This was one of the most unexpected encounter in Kaziranga.
Mm-hmm.
A huge male tiger.
Okay.
Again, Kaziranga is not one of the places where you expect to see a tiger on a regular basis because they are not quite used to the tourist jeeps as compared to the ones in central India. So, as you can see, that one of its eye is badly injured or maybe completely gone, maybe due to uh, a territorial fight with another male. So, this particular individual, uh, gave us a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, even if you encounter a tiger in Kaziranga, they don't give you much time. They vanish into the thickets the moment you see them. I
Great.
would
Love the
probably,
habitat. You have water, you have green, and you have the beauty right
yeah.
in there.
Thank you. So these are fairly common species found in abundance in Kaziranga, the hog deer, but very difficult to photograph because they're very shy animal and they don't give you much time. And in the backdrop, you can see the dust gathered. That is not the fog, but the dust because of the jeeps.
Oh,
So yeah, so I found it really interesting. So made this image.
wonderful.
So again, this is a so the idea behind this shot is to show the building on the left hand side. It is the anti-poaching camp, which is all over the reserve, inside the reserve. These camps are used by the forest guards to keep an eye on the rhinos 24/7, and they have done a tremendous job in the last 10 years to bring down the poaching cases down drastically.
That's great.
Yeah. So moving on to this shot, this is a elephant with its young one. But my naturalist told me that going by the size of her belly on the right side, this female seemed to be pregnant. But again, it was very confusing because it was already with its young one. So I really don't know if it was the naturalist was right or wrong. But nature has a lot of surprises up its sleeve. You just need to observe each and everything when you are in the
I,
jungle.
I agree completely.
Again, this is elephant with a 1 day old calf. So this particular female had got separated from its herd, and the forest department had cordoned off the area for the tourists for no, for the tourists not to disturb this elephant. And I found the moment quite cute, the way the baby elephant is just beneath its mother under its protective shadow.
And the light is beautiful, and the tree adds so much value in this picture.
Right, thank you. So moving on to the next frame, this is again a different take on making a different take on rhino portrait, because I feel that sometimes you have to think out of the box and make your ordinary sightings extraordinary. So I tried a different kind of image because in wildlife you don't always get extraordinary moments. So sometimes you have to make something interesting out of ordinary sightings. So this time, I focused on the shadow, on the reflection on the water, and rotated the image upside down. So
Cool.
moving on to the next image, this image is from Manas. So this is a very regular ritual between male elephants. They lock their tusks in order to show their dominance and take the leadership of the herd. So Manas, I feel, is one of the most beautiful places in India to shoot elephants. You get a lot of elephants there, and I call it as the Amboseli of India because of the abundance of elephants there. It is one of the most beautiful places in India to shoot elephants. Probably very underrated.
Mm-hmm.
So next up, again a very
Yeah.
unexpected encounter. So before I went to Kaziranga, I always had this frame in my mind where I can shoot a tiger and a rhino in a similar frame, in the same frame. So on this particular moment, I came across a tiger late evening, having a nap, and a baby rhino came inspecting and looking curiously at the tiger. So the light was very low. The safari was about to end, but at last I was able to get my dream image.
That's cool.
Thank you. So again from Kaziranga, this is a silhouette of a uh, Barasinga, also known as swamp deer, uh, sundown shot, underexposed. I felt that the ducks on the right and the egret on the left created a complete balance to the frame.
Yep.
So, so moving on next, again,
Wow.
now this from the northeast part of India, we went to the northernmost part of India, the Jim Corbett National Park, one of my favorite destination to shoot wildlife.
Mm-hmm.
So I had titled this image as "Fire in the Water" because the light, it is a
Yes.
late winter evening, light golden light, and I haven't got a better light, a tiger in a better light than this sighting. I mean, the light was perfect. I underexposed a bit to get the reddish tones and the winter coat of the tiger shining and crossing the famous Ramganga River. So, Corbett is a perfect place to make shots like this.
Beautiful.
Thank you. So, again, a shot from Corbett and my favorite subjects, the elephants. So, this elephant seems to be in a very joyous mood, and the miners hovering over are they seem to be in a equally joyous mood as the elephant is, creating a complete sync with the mood of the elephant.
Mm-hmm.
Found this interesting. uh, Again, this is Corbett where you can make very good use of the light, especially in winters. The environment is full of drama, and I have a special liking for backlit images,
I
and
can
you
see
can,
that.
yeah. So you can get these settings, especially in Corbett. You usually don't get to see elephants in winters, not in abundance. I mean, but in this particular trip, I had already shot over 40 elephants in
Wow.
Kolkata. So I got lucky because winter. I feel that winters, is the perfect season to shoot wildlife in Corbett because of the conditions and the fog, early morning fog, late evening mist. So especially sunrise and sunset.
Mm-hmm.
So again, an elephant. So you can see my love for elephants.
Yes.
The again a little bit of backlight, a hint of mist in the environment. So these are the kind of settings that I like. So now this is peak summer. You can
Wow.
see the dry leaves on the road. So this is a very famous road in Tikala, which
Mm-hmm.
is known as Sambar Road. So here I kept down my 300 and picked up my old horse Nikon D50 600 with a mounted with a basic kit lens 1855
Mm-hmm.
to get a wider perspective. You know, I wanted to show how the habitat looks completely different in the summers compared to the winters.
Okay.
So this is again um, this particular tiger is the daughter of a very famous tiger known as Parvali. So crossing the Rambanga River again, winter, peak winter, and next up is the wide angle shot from the same sighting.
Wow.
So here I wanted to show the scale of the forest and the entire habitat. We appreciate the beauty of the animal, but we also need to appreciate the beauty of the place that they reside.
Yes.
So again, peak winters, wide angle, um, the winter hues. This is why I love Corbett because nowhere in India you get such dramatic settings.
Yeah.
So Going forward, this is again one of my most beautiful, most would say favorite image from Corbett. And it also confuses a lot of people because the elephant in the frame looks huge compared to the jeep. But if you observe closely, the elephant is much closer to the camera than the jeep, and they're not in a parallel line. So the point of view creates a false impression, and of course the beautiful background and the Himalayan ranges and the fog in the background creates a lot of drama in the scene. So this image also got me a lot of publications on social media and various media agencies.
That's great. I mean, it got a story in it, and you kind of see it quite often in a park
Yeah,
encounters like this. That's really good. And I love the backdrop.
yeah.
Everything together is such a fabulous one.
This is why you I love Corbett. Nowhere else in the country you get such beautiful settings.
Great.
So going forward again, winter morning, backlit image of an elephant. So moving forward, now we go to the eastern part of the
Hmm.
country, which I call my home, the Sundarban National Park, one of the most unique ecosystem in the world, and the only mangrove forest where you can find tigers.
Yeah.
And this was my first ever tiger sighting in Sundarban back in 2018.
Okay.
And this particular male is the most seen and photographed tiger in Sundarban till date.
Okay.
So this was, I think, late evening shot. So again from Sundarbans, uh, it is not just about tigers. As I said, there's plenty of wildlife. It is a very diverse ecosystem. These are smooth-coated otters, uh,
Wow.
especially found in winters. So this is a pair of buffy fish owl. Now, a lot of people confuse it with brown fish owl, and this is a very rare sighting because you get this species only in Southeast Asia,
Uh-huh.
uh, and in India they are only found in Sundarban. These are buffy fish owl, not the brown fish owl, and
Oh.
they have a specific the ear patterns are very specific, and they have a very uh, the color tone is very different from the brown fish owl are more browner, and their ears are a bit differently shaped, and
Mm-hmm.
even the eye color is a little bit pale, but
Okay.
these puffy fish owls have a very distinct ear patterns, and they're under the belly have like a buff like patterns on them.
They're beautiful. And getting two of them together, it's even more amazing.
Yes,
And look at
yes,
the way one of them is, the eyes.
yeah. So this I was looking for them for a long time, and besides tiger, this was one of the most sought after species. And so the one I was after, but finally had my first sighting, and
Mm-hmm.
in 2020, I guess, and it was worth the wait because I got them. I got a pair.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is a monitor lizard uh, rest, chilling on a tree. So Sundarban is a constant changing landscape. So it is a tidal forest. So the landscape changes a couple of actually 4 times in 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So during the high tides, when the water level gets up, the mud banks get submerged, and these lizards then get on the trees to avoid the water.
Uh-huh.
This is easily one of the largest monitor lizards that I have encountered.
Okay. I love the way it's clinging. It's like it looks more relaxed,
Yeah,
in the Jungle King movie kind of thing. It's really nice.
right. Right. So moving on next,
Wow.
Sundarban is also home to smaller cats. You can find the jungle cats, the leopard cat, and the fishing cat there. So
Have
this
you
one,
seen all of them?
not the fishing cat yet, but I have seen the jungle cat and leopard cat.
Leopard cat, really?
Yes.
Oh, I'm waiting for the images. Okay.
So so this particular morning I got them in beautiful light. So
Wow.
one of my favorite images of jungle cat, another image from the same series.
Wow.
So I love these cats. They give you perfect photo opportunities, and they're usually found in winters. In summers, you don't get to see them much.
Mm-hmm.
So another star attraction in Sundarban, apart from cats, is these birds. There is a variety of there are a variety of kingfishers that are found in Sundarbans.
Uh-huh.
On the left hand side is the brown winged kingfisher, and
Okay.
on the right hand side it is known as the collared kingfisher.
Uh-huh.
They're usually found post monsoon.
Uh-huh.
So apart from these, you can find the common kingfisher, the black cap, the pied, and of course the common and the ruddy kingfisher is a monsoon visitor,
Mm-hmm.
and the stock-billed kingfisher. So Sundarban is home to a variety of kingfishers.
Great.
So this is the leopard cat I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Not probably not a very great image, but this is the only sighting I have I have ever encountered till now.
Mm-hmm.
So this was
Wow.
okay. These are very elusive cats, and more than the image, I was very happy that I have got to see them.
Yeah,
See
it
one,
is. It is a magical one, and in the habitat and with an eye contact, it's amazing.
right. So going forward, this is
Wow.
a tiger in the tiger palm. These plants, these trees are known as hental in the Bengali language, and tiger palm in English. So tiger in the tiger palm makes sense.
Yes.
So
And it looks like, most of the images look like they are kind of posing for you. That's
right,
amazing.
right. So this has got to be one of my best tiger sighting of my life, because getting a tiger family in Sundarban. This particular female on the left had two cubs, two sub-adults, and
Okay.
this is one area of the park. This is a very narrow canal, and the only narrow canal where you are allowed to take your boat in the tourism area. And if ever you encounter a tiger in this particular canal, that means you are very close to the tiger.
Okay.
And on this particular occasion, I was seeing two tigers sitting in open, and they were not really bothered about our presence.
Uh-huh.
And then we found out that there were actually three of them. Can you
Wow. Oh,
spot
yeah,
them?
I can see that.
Yeah. So this was the on the left hand side. It is the male cub, which was
Uh-huh.
probably shy and didn't want to come out in the open. But the mother and the female cub seemed to be quite relaxed and not bothered about our presence. So
Mm-hmm.
so
That's great.
yeah. So this is a portrait of saltwater crocodile, probably the largest crocodile that you can find in India. You can find them in abundance in Sundarban, but the best season to observe them is winters, because they come on the mud flats to soak the winter sun. Now, this is again from Sundarban. This is my very first encounter with jellyfish. These were floating on the surface of the water, and I took these images from the boat itself. So again, as I said, that Sundarban has a lot to offer beside big cats and birds. There's plenty of wildlife, all sorts of wildlife. So going ahead, again a portrait of a tiger from Sundarbans. So when a tiger in Sundarbans, stares in your eyes, I bet it sends shivers down your spine, because that is the aura of a Sundarban tiger. So this particular occasion, I got this particular tiger in a very good light.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Thank you. So moving forward, this is a purple rumped sunbird against a very green background. This is on the outskirts of Kolkata,
Uh-huh.
where I went for birding. So Kolkata has also a lot of bird life on the outskirts, where you can go and shoot plenty of beautiful birds out there.
Great.
So now we have come to down south to Bandipur, so in Karnataka. So this is a male tiger walking head on, a low angle shot.
Great.
So Bandipur was once back at least 10 years ago, it was known for its tiger sighting. But later, the tiger sightings went down drastically. And just a couple of seasons ago, I went there during the monsoon, and I had a very good sighting of an entire tiger family um, in the monsoon. And apart from winters, monsoon is my second favorite season to shoot wildlife because of the lush green environment.
Yeah.
And then there were two of them peeping through the foliage.
Yeah. Cool.
Then they went in the water body, mock charging at each other playfully. So this particular tiger chilling in the water,
Cool.
the splashes on the face created a lot of drama.
Yep.
So next up is this beautiful peacock during the rain against a green backdrop. So this is from Kabini during the monsoon.
Wow.
I like the greens and those pink flowers in the
Yeah.
backdrop. I think it complements the tiger.
Yes.
So from uh, now we are seeing images from my very recent trip to Mara. I
Wow.
wish I could I wish I could show you more stuff from Mara, but I I came back there very recently. I was I got so busy in work that I didn't get the opportunity to process all the
No
good
worries.
images. Yeah. So this is one of the males from the Topi Pride. You might
Uh-huh.
know. So got them in a beautiful evening light.
Yeah.
This is a mobile shot. I think
Uh-huh.
Mara is one place where you can make very good images even from your mobile phone.
Yes.
And the best thing I liked about Mara is that you can plan your shots. You can think. It is not just that you get something and you start shooting like in India.
Yeah.
No, you plan things. You can create images rather
Yes.
than just shooting.
Yeah. There are more
So
possibilities.
yes, this is again uh, my kind of setting, backlight, early morning, an elephant,
Yeah.
a typical Mara. So this was one particular moment where a female was showing love to its cub.
Yeah.
This is again from a female from the Topi Pride.
Mm-hmm.
So this particular shot I taken from the hot air balloon. So I luckily got both the elephant and the balloon in the same frame.
That's great.
So while I was on the balloon itself,
Wow, cool.
so again typical Mara settings, alone
Yes.
topi. Uh, this is why I love the place because you can plan things. You can either plenty of opportunities where you can use your brains and make images rather than just waiting for the opportunities.
Yeah.
Uh, a leopard called Rojo.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to make a portrait of it. So this is once again a male from Topi Pride
Mm-hmm.
against this beautiful green backdrop.
Yeah.
Uh, so during this, I searched a lot for a giraffe or an elephant for this shot, but I had to settle on a wildebeest because I didn't found any giraffes or elephants. But I always wanted to make such this kind of a shot with the sun is half right,
Yeah.
half sun and an animal in the front.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. So this is again a very typical Mara shot, a female with an eye contact. You can also see its young one in the
Yeah.
bushes. So
You can also see the dewdrops.
yes, so so this is the last shot of the presentation. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful male. I typically don't do much monochrome, but for this shot I tried because I thought that it added drama. The monochrome setting added drama to an otherwise uh,
Yeah.
okay image.
It's a beautiful image, and your treatment definitely added more value to it.
Thank you, thank you. So that is all that I had for today. Thank you. You can see my work on Instagram.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions, if anyone has any question, they can.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you so much,
Thank
Antarjit. And it was really well presented. And you see how you grown from the starting stage
Yeah.
till how you moved with your images, with your editing, and the style and the way you want to present things. And honestly, the habitat shots are so beautifully done.
Thank you so
And
much.
your location selection, definitely, I would definitely would love to know more about the park which you got the mangrove
Yes.
images. So
Sundarban.
what kind of preparation you do in normal cases? Because I heard sporting a tiger in mangroves, it's quite difficult. So
Of
what
course it is.
season you suggest, what equipment you suggest, and what kind of preparation you need to do?
Yeah. See, basically in Sundarban, it is a quite a hard place to photograph because you are constantly on the move. You don't get any stable settings because you are on a boat and you're not allowed to halt your boat inside the
Mm.
park.
Okay.
So you always need to maintain a very uh, fast shutter speed to get the action freezed or the
Mm-hmm.
animals in sharp focus. So another thing is of course the sightings there are quite tough.
Mm-hmm.
So these images, all this collection, I have made over like I have been exploring this forest since 2018 quite regularly. Every year I make more than 3 to 4 trips,
Mm-hmm.
and I have sighted tigers only on 4 occasions till now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All
So,
right.
so it takes a lot of trips to the mangrove. Sometimes, there are few trips where I don't get the opportunity to lift my camera. I come back with my full all the batteries completely charged. Uh, it is the part and parcel of
Yeah.
Sundarban, and mentally you need to be prepared to come back empty-handed because it is a tough place, not just for shooting tigers, but for even for bird lovers. It is not a place where you expect to make studio setting kind of images because the habitat is such that you hardly get the clear backgrounds. So
Mhm.
you need to make use of the uh, habitat, and you need to understand the area, and of course you need very good naturalists who have very deep knowledge
Mhm.
of the whole area.
Okay.
Yes. And
Yeah.
about the equipment, I
Mhm.
usually carry a 300 but if you are into birds and all, you definitely must carry something like a 200, 500, or if you are into prime lenses, then a 600 will do wonders for you. But as I said, that I like to shoot a bit wider perspectives. I'm not a fan of portraits, so
Okay.
that's why my go-to lens is the 300 and sometimes I even use the wide angle for getting a more wider perspective.
Okay. Yeah. So any particular season?
Season, uh, mostly I prefer the post monsoon season till
Mm-hmm.
like it is October to March.
Mm-hmm.
But the last this particular monsoon season was great. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
People got a lot of good tiger shots in monsoon season. The
Mm-hmm.
monsoon season is preferred by bird lovers, where you
Mm-hmm.
get to see the seasonal birds like the ruddy kingfishers,
Mm-hmm.
and the buffy fish owl is people go to see the buffy fish owl because the sighting go up during the monsoon.
Okay.
Yes.
We have a question from Dilip. How far were you from the elephant? Don't they charge? I There were a bunch of elephant images, Dilip. I'm not sure which one you're referring. Are you referring the one with the balloon in it, or you are referring to the one with a jeep in front of the elephant? So which one are you referring? If you can answer this, then we can be very specific on it. And Vibhav mentioned he would love to see more images from Mara. So, Antarjit, I think we are going to give you a little more time for another one, maybe one more trip
Sure,
to
sure,
Mara,
sure,
or after some
sure,
time, maybe we can do one.
sure.
And then the one with the Jeep. So, Dilip would like to know.
As I said that the elephant was much closer to my camera, and the
Hmm.
jeep was very far from the elephant. Actually, my
Mm-hmm.
point of view is giving an impression as if both the elephant and the jeep are on the same parallel line, but it is not. The jeep is far away from the elephant,
Okay.
so there's no point of. So it was in a very safe distance.
Okay. So, I mean, have you ever had? I keep on seeing some disturbing images. I mean, especially small video clips from India. Not sure which park. People getting chased by elephants, and I'm sure in most of the cases it's because people try to go and provoke them. So,
Yes,
did
yes.
you ever had any experience? I'm not saying that you provoke them, but otherwise, did you ever had any?
Only once in Corbett itself, but apart from that, never. Because I usually like to, as I said, that I usually like to maintain a good amount of distance from my subjects, because I always want to shoot them in a wider perspective. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not a very big fan of portraits,
Okay.
so yeah, and especially with elephants, they are huge subjects, so it is even more important to maintain a good amount of distance to get the entire habitat with them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you maintain a safe distance with them, I don't think there's any question of them chasing you without any provocation. Yes, couple of times you get in a awkward position where you cannot do anything, because I have seen a few occasions where people getting sandwiched between elephants because they have no way to go. They're caught in an awkward position.
Yeah.
So that is part of wildlife, but yes, if you maintain a safe distance, I don't think there's a reason to worry.
Okay. Great. Vibhav or Vaibhav, I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. He just mentioned that he got back recently from Mara along with his 9-year-old daughter. So, Vaibhav, I have a request. We have an online magazine called PT Explorers, and we have a section for under 16 kids. So if you can get in touch with us, our email address is pawsintouch, PAWSIN touch, TOUCH at gmail.com. We would like to feature your kid along with the photos. So if you can get in touch with me, Hermes, or with the email ID I mentioned, that will be great. That was another note. So Shafiq mentioned that it's very useful and nice information. Then Dilip, yes. Yatin mentioned its beautiful images.
Thank you.
Then
Thank you again.
Aditya said hello. Jungly Traveler said all the best. And
Thank you.
then, yeah, I mean, there is another one. We have a WhatsApp group. We have a bunch of questions from there too. If you have time, then I would like to.
Of course. Go ahead, please.
Which season? I mean, do you have any dream shot for monsoon season, and which is your favorite location for monsoon in India?
Favorite location for monsoon is definitely going to be Bandipur and Kabini, because, of course, in monsoon season, most of the parks in India are closed due to the roads get unsuitable for safaris. The only
Okay.
parks which are open throughout the year are in ones in the South India, especially Bandipur and Kabini, and also Sundarban is open throughout the year. They are not closed during the monsoon. So my dream shot, maybe a tiger head on walking in the rain. Uh, actually I haven't thought of any dream shot, but I would like to get this particular shot, tiger in rain. I haven't
Mhm.
got tiger in rain yet, but definitely in the lush green background, a tiger walking head on in a heavy rain. So that would be one moment that I would like to capture.
That's great. Yeah. No elephant drama you're looking for because you said you like elephants. So
Yes,
elephants.
I love them. I love elephants like anything. It is one of my most favorite subjects to shoot because I feel that even with a small lens, even with a mobile phone, there
Yes,
you
there is
like you can,
possibilities.
yes, you can make some excellent images. And they also, if you spend some time with them, they do get used to, they get comfortable in your presence, and they even bring their young ones close to you. Like in
Hmm.
Kaziranga, I know the elephants are so used to the jeeps. There's no uh,
Problem.
cases of charging and all. There's no
Hmm.
man animal conflicts there. So
Hmm. That's great.
yeah,
So, Vaibhav, I think he was online. I hope you are online, dear, and I put the email address. So, if you can get in touch with us, or if you can send me your phone number, I shall give you a call right after this. So, I've sent the number over here. Now, I mean, do you have any dream location which you would like to
there are
try?
plenty of them. One is, of course, I recently went to Mara, but due to the time constraint, I missed on Amboseli. So next year, I am definitely going to be in Amboseli to shoot my favorite subjects. Uh,
Yeah, Basel is known for elephants.
Yes, yes. So that's one particular shot. I know that plenty of people have shot that, but I want to at least see a elephant with the Mount Kilimanjaro in the
Anyway,
backdrop.
back, yes.
Even though it is quite common these days, but it is not for social
It
media.
is
It is
common
for
to see, but honestly, it's not you. Even if you're staying there for a month, I'm not sure to what extent you will
no.
be able to see it
Yes.
properly. So it's
No.
luck, you know.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. And otherwise, it depends on the season. And getting killy with a little bit of snow in the top and a bit of clouds, but still see the top and see some animal right in the bottom is amazing. But yes, I
Definitely.
do see a lot of such images, but it's not as easy as we all think.
Yes, even while before leaving for Mara, I had this sort of a feeling, or I had a concept that it is pretty easy in Mara. You know, you get
Yeah.
the sighting. But once I was there, I got to realize that it is nowhere it is easy to make images,
Nothing.
because
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
because half of throughout
maybe
the day,
sighting may be easy. Yeah, compared to, being in a
yeah,
rainforest sighting and getting it in the grassland, when you're thinking about photography opportunity, yes, there is great possibilities. But taking a picture, it's completely depending on the artist, and getting the
definitely.
moments is completely depend on nature.
And
Yeah.
the other thing is that you get so overwhelmed, especially during your first visit. You are confused, you know, what to shoot and what to leave. So I made a lot of mistakes, which now I realize I will definitely mend them in my next trip. So this is all about learning and making mistakes is part of this journey. So
Yeah, that's true. I mean that is in general, right? If
yes,
you are going to any place the first time, it's just going to be experience.
yes,
And I think the more you visit a place, the more possibility is there to make images. And every
definitely,
time it's going to be different, especially your kind of things. You're not looking for the portraits, you're looking for the habitat, you are looking for the soul, you are looking for the moment. So it's going to
definitely.
be a different experience. And Dilip is like talking about Ganesh and Tolstoy is all waiting for you in Amboseli, Tim, Tom, and he's talking about the elephants and the details. Yeah, Dilip is another great followers when it comes to our talk. So he kind
Oh,
of do have a great information about most of these species and the locations. So he's always kind of quite inspiring and giving information as well as support.
definitely. Yes, yes.
And yeah, now so no plans for South American or North American side for Alaska or polar bears and bears in general or penguins. It's still a dream thing for me. So your dreams?
Definitely, I mean, I want to explore as much as I can, but the immediate plan is to explore more and more parts of Africa, and from there on, I'll choose to explore different parts of the world. I mean, as I said, that it all started with tigers, but gradually, as I got into photography, my interest in other forms of wildlife
Mm-hmm.
went up. with time, and I definitely look to explore all the sides of wildlife, not just India, not just Africa, but even
Yes.
like Svalbard is one of the places where I want to
Same
go.
here. Same
So,
here.
but of course, it takes a lot of planning. Of course, a lot of
It's
money
more
is
expensive.
involved. Yes, it
Not
is about long-term plannings, and
yes.
these are not some
Yeah.
short-term goals that you decide suddenly and go. So it takes a lot of planning. And so my first immediate priority is to explore more and more Africa,
Mm-hmm.
along with different parts of India. I
Sure.
want to do the snow leopard. I haven't done snow leopard yet, so that's one thing which is on my list, which I want to do.
Yeah, India itself, there is so much, you know.
Of course, I don't think the diversity which India offers can be matched by any other place.
Any other place, and you need a lifetime. Even that is not enough for covering India in a proper way as a photographer.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. And Indresh said an amazing photographer. So
Thank you,
like
Indra.
somebody whom you follow, who follows you. So that was more or less the in comments we got. We got a bunch more beautiful words from a lot of people. You can check it in our Facebook as well as in our YouTube. But
Thank you.
regarding questions, thank you so much. So, do you have any suggestions for upcoming photographers, be it as a girl or a guy? Any suggestions?
Not really, because I would just say that enjoy the journey. It is all about enjoying the journey. You will make mistakes, learn from the mistakes. It's not about getting the perfection. It is all about learning each day. Each day, try and get the best out of you. Work on your post processing skills, and always try to explore new places, and try to explore the creative side of you.
Great.
That's what it is. Other than that, keep it pretty simple. That's it.
Just one more question. That's my personal question. And
Right?
how is your family supporting you with this? Because
My
we
family,
come across a lot of people who say the biggest trouble is the family sometimes, because the more you get involved, I know we spend a lot of time, we prefer to spend a lot of time in the jungle rather than with the family. How do you manage the balance?
I am very lucky in this regard, because my family completely supports my passion. They have never stopped me from going in the jungles. Uh, they personally are not quite interested in wildlife, so they never, I always ask them to come and join me, but they never do.
Mhm.
But the good thing is that they never stop me from going anywhere.
That's good.
So yes, they always support my passion, and they always, have supported me. So I've never uh, got any trouble from the family aspect. I always got, so I'm very lucky from on this aspect.
Okay, you have some funny comments. You should go through the. I'm not going
So
to read it.
they must be my friends pulling my leg.
Okay. Anyway, thank you so much. So that was all
Thank you,
about it.
Dinesh.
Okay.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
your time, and it was really wonderful images.
Yeah,
And as you mentioned, the tiger in the golden light was amazing. But
thank you,
personally, I love your habitat shots than the portraits. It's
thank,
amazing.
thank you so much. And it's been an honor to be on this platform. I would love to be back on this with
Please.
more images in the future.
Yes. We can
Thank
definitely
you so
plan
much.
another one whenever you are ready. You know us. You just need to. We will make sure that in 3 months' time we will get in touch with you so that we can arrange another one.
Thank you,
Thank you.
thank you. Have a good day.
So that was Antarjit along with his beautiful images and stories. And tomorrow we have another wonderful friend who is again a photographer. So same time, just tomorrow, no major gap. So if you are free, if you would like to hear more stories from the wilderness and experiences, and you would like to learn something new, do join us tomorrow. For more information, you can see it in our Facebook as well as in Instagram. Who is going to be the hero for tomorrow. So let's catch up tomorrow. Till then, please be safe, take care. And Vaibhav, I will get in touch with you. Dilip, thank you for the suggestion. I will definitely talk to. I'll try to get him over here. I'm not sure. It all depends on the photographers. Hermes right now is in Amboseli, and then he is going to Mara with a guest. Yeah, just another thing. We have a beautiful camp in Masai Mara. So if any of you are looking for a trip to Mara, do get in touch with us. Another thing is 50% of whatever profit we are making from this camp is going back to Mara to support people, a school with education and food and other conservation activities. So by joining us, you're not only going to get experts as your guides, but also going to support the community. So that's our Mara story, but I'm not trying to push it. It's your call. Your support will be appreciated. Thank you so much. So let's catch up tomorrow, same time, with another fabulous person and his stories from the wilderness. Till then, take care. Bye bye.